Open the SEC in grand fashion, getting to see two of the top teams in the league. Coming off the break, a little momentum. Coming off UCA, a couple good days of practice. Ready to get it started.
All right, Ethan.
Hey Mike, Happy New Year.
You as well.
So LSU has a good record like usual entering in SEC play, but how would you compare and contrast them from maybe some of those teams in recent years?
Yeah, good question. Hard to tell, because their games are kind of to the extreme, either 100-point wins or really tight, close games. Nothing in between. No really true road games either. Some of those they've got some neutral site games, but no true road games. We've played them first several years in a row. It kind of feels like maybe four out of the last five. So, um, they're still a Coach Mulkey coach team. And a Bob Starkey coach defense. Every pass, every dribble on with offensively is going to be contested. They're going to build themselves around powerful things on offense, pound it inside, attack the paint, really attack the glass. Um, Build it inside out. Morrow's having an All American type year. They've got Jersey, in a spot where she's obviously um, happy with her role being a five player. She's not taking any shots outside the lane all year long. Got good guards around them. Went to the portal and filled in some holes. So, I mean, I think they're as deep as they've been. I know how she likes to build her teams, and I would think they're as far along or further than the year they went to the finals. You know, so they're polished. I do hope maybe the first true road game is hard on them. That gives us a chance to maybe catch them not at their best. And if we catch them not at their best and we play our best, then have a good shot.
Yeah, I'm curious, what is kind of the message to the team? I know you said a little bit there, just kind of on that note, but just kind of the message to them playing a team like LSU that comes with the top five ranking and everything.
No pressure. Go out and play. We're going to be an underdog pretty much every game the rest of the way out. So let's get comfortable in that role. Our league coach has picked us to finish last unanimously, so we know we're going to be an underdog every game that we play. So let's get a chance to go out there and see the top of the league, near the top. Tennessee, Texas, and South Carolina have kind of separated themselves away a little bit. Maybe even throw in Ole Miss and Alabama in there too. So um, the message with our young team is that it is truly, obviously you play one game every night, but they do stack up on you. 16 in a row is it can take its toll. So let's do just truly look at them on an individual basis and know what each team's going to do. You got to be really physical against these guys. If you don't come out with a tough mindset, you're not going to even be able to function on either side. So that's the message to them right here. Be ready for contact. Be ready for physical play. That's the step up that happens when you get SEC play anyway. So let's go against one of the toughest, best ones. We get them back to back. I think between them, Texas and Tennessee are going to be the three that you talk about. We get them in the first 3 weeks.
And one last thing I got for you, whenever you played them earlier this year, Michaela Williams had a great game for them. What's maybe the key to at least limiting her?
Well, you got to make her shoot tough shots. I don't think you can keep her from missing, and I don't think you can keep her from getting her shot. She's just that good. Probably the best pure jump shooter between her and I put her and Juju in that same category of pure jump shooters. So you got to kind of get her in her spots, not let her have a good rhythm. If she gets to her spots, you just got to hope she misses really. And she's had some big games, and she had some games where she went 1 for 9. And I think those are games where people kind of got her on the move a little bit. She's better on catch and shoot. She's better off one or two dribbles. So trying to force her to have to do more than that to score. But she's not a kid you hope to completely shut out. You just kind of hope that you contain her a little bit and force her to take more shots than she does points.
Thanks, Mike.
Yep.
Valerie, do you have a question?
Hi, yes, I'm Valerie. I'm a reporter with 4029 News. Hi, Coach Neighbors. Hi, I know you guys are playing LSU tomorrow, and just kind of thinking about the breaking news out of New Orleans with the car that drove through that crowd. Do you think there'll be anything that will happen during the game tomorrow to kind of honor those lives that were lost?
I apologize. I don't even know what you're talking about. I woke up this morning and came straight to film. So what happened?
There was a driver that had gone through a crowd, and it killed a couple of people.
Oh, it's
Um,
awful.
yeah,
I haven't heard of anything. Obviously, not even knowing about it. They may have something planned, but I don't know. I mean, if it, we'll obviously join into whatever is decided. I will. Since we get off here, I'll be googling finding out what happened. But sounds like maybe a New Year's celebration or something went wrong. Yeah, awful. We'll participate in whatever if LSU has something in mind, but I'm sure our people are working on that.
absolutely. Thank you.
Yeah.
Any other questions?
I'll hop back in. Mike, just what do you think that, you talked about getting back on track on Sunday against UCA. How important was that, because you'd had some time between games to just kind of, I guess, flush what had happened before Christmas break a little bit?
It felt way better coming into practice the last couple of days. I mean, it just does. Your body feels better. Everything seems a little bit sharper. I've been on teams that have gone through long losing streaks, and I know the difference that just a win can give you. And I think we got that. That gives us a little bit of chance. And I think some of the things we tried kind of worked. We talked about walking it up a little bit more, which we did, and it made our offense a little bit more efficient. After one game, I'm not ready to, sign off on, it was everything that made us a little bit better, but I do think we felt a little bit more comfortable. We didn't turn it over as much. Our shot quality was drastically improved. There could be a lot of reasons for that, but just to build a little confidence that maybe that did work. Another game under our belt for Phoenix, all of those things. Another game under our belt for all of our kids, that are playing extended minutes. But I think it changed the vibe in the gym, vibe in the office, the vibe in the training room. Not all wins necessarily do that, but that one certainly did. And against a good team, an in-state rival that's had a good year, that's had beaten some common opponents, and I think came in expecting to win. It wasn't a team I think that came in intimidated. They came in expecting to beat us and played really well for a period of time, and then I thought we got it really going. So I think we have to build on those small victories, those small confidence builders, and I think this group's capable of doing it. I think they did.
Yeah, I apologize. I wasn't there, battling a little bit of just being under the weather, but
I'm with you, brother. I'm with you.
yeah, but I know Izzy looked like I mean, the first half went down a few times. Was that just? It kind of looked like, was that just cramps?
No, it was a new one. No, she's got a little hip issue to deal with, her knee and her foot. So she slipped on a wet spot on the floor, kind of aggravated a groin injury and an upper leg injury. So she did not practice yesterday at all. Will be limited today. We're starting the new injury report deal
Yeah.
in the SEC. I don't know if y'all have been tracking on that, but we have to file an injury report for every game. So she'll go on the list as certainly as probable. We expect her to practice a little bit today, but even a little bit more limited than what she normally would be the day before a game. But yeah, it was a new one. It was a new injury, but she came back, gave us a lift. I wouldn't tell you she's anywhere close to 100%, but I'm not sure she's been 100% at all year. So we'll see how she goes. We got a close eye on her. I check in with our doctors and Simone several times a day to make sure we're not putting her into a situation where she could aggravate something. She's not a kid that needs high reps to know what we're doing, but it helps to have that, the flow with the timing with the rest of your team. But she individually doesn't need it, but we need it as a team. So we have to be very specific in practice with our time on what we're doing when she's able to go.
And then on that note, you spoke of the availability report. How when do y'all have to have that turned in by?
We turn in one 24 hours before and then one a couple of hours. I'm not sure what the exact deadline, maybe 2 or 3 hours before the game, if there are changes. So like if we listed somebody as questionable today, and then we were going to move them to probable tomorrow, you have to make those changes. You can't play a kid who's out, so you got to be truthful on them, and you have to be diligent in reporting them. This will be our first time to do it, so I'm not exactly sure of the deadlines. I know there's one today, and I know there's one prior to the tip-off.
Are there any other on the team that you expect to at least have some sort of designation?
No, Everybody
Okay.
else will be I think we're probably going to list people as probable every time. If that seems like the thing to do, unless they're out for a season-ending injury or maybe a disciplinary issue or something like that, you would. But the way I've read it, I think probable will be probably what we put on most everybody.
Got one final one for you. You mentioned they've got Jersey playing at the 5 there now and seems pretty comfortable there. Looking at just her recent stats, it seems like she's maybe in the middle of her uh best streak of play. What have you seen from her specifically?
She just takes what comes her way. She's not out hunting shots. She's taking what comes her way from dump off passes when Morrow gets doubled. She's a really good basket cutter. We saw that when she was here. She cut to the basket. For us, the difference is just she's playing in the inside. She wanted to play on the perimeter here, and we worked on helping her reach her goals to do that. And they've got her, down there, and she seems very happy. I pulled her shot chart today just to look. She's only taken 2 shots even outside the paint all year long. So I think she's really obviously comfortable in her role, confident in it. She plays a ton of minutes. Between she and Samaya Smith kind of go back and forth, but it seems like lately, Jersey's had the bulk of those minutes. So we expect her to play well, and we'll know how to we know how to expect her to score. But she seems to have really settled into her role. They've done a nice job of getting her in there and putting her in a spot where she can be successful.
Thanks, Mike.
Yep.
All right. Thanks, Coach.
All right. See y'all.